want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. What are your thoughts on the doctrine of election? Well, these videos typically run somewhere between 2 and 5 minutes in length. And this is a subject matter that we've been debating for about 400 years. So we're not going to solve it all in just a few moments, but allow me to make some very quick observation. There is an issue that we deal with called the doctrine of first mention. In other words, as you're reading the Bible, chronologically speaking, the first time that a subject matter is mentioned, it generally speaking gives us the direction to address that issue throughout the rest of Scripture. So let's take the issue of election. By the way, that word simply means just the means by which that humanity is quote unquote saved. We're elect. You see that word all through the Bible, the elect of God, those through election. The very first chronological mention of not only this word, but an aspect of it is found in Isaiah chapter 42. There it says that the Messiah is the elect of God. This is important. There is no election apart from Jesus Christ. He is the first mention of this word. Second, in Isaiah chapter 45, this statement is made, Israel, mine elect. Why is that critical? Because Israel is a collective body. It's corporate in nature. It's not a specific individual. In fact, you get into Romans chapter 2, verses 28 and 29. It says, not everyone who's been circumcised outwardly is of Israel, but he who's been circumcised of the heart. When we get to the issue of election, there's all kinds of discussion and debate and hurt feelings because you get in these aspects of, who was elect, who is not elect. Is there anything that a person can believe to actually, quote, be saved, or is it already determined before birth? All those great theological issues. I think we can solve this very simply by just looking at the law first mention. First mention is Jesus. Second mention, immediately thereafter, is a corporate entity. And so personally, I advocate for biblical election from a corporate perspective. Here's what that means. That election is not based on anything that you and I can do or attain. We can't be saved by works. The Bible makes that very clear. When the Lord went to Abram and called him out to be the patriarch of Israel, I know Israel technically was the name of his grandson, but that being said, there was nothing he did to earn it. God just said, I choose you. Indiscriminate, correct? No works based, just because God wanted to. That being said, Abram was an entity, the covenant of Abram. The church is an extension of Israel. It is a corporate entity. And so I'd like to advocate today what I call corporate election. Completely unconditional, indiscriminate. God chose the means and the way that he would save. You and I have the privilege of calling on the name of the Lord to be saved. As far as election from an individual perspective, that person A versus person B is elect or is not elect, I think that takes the definitions of election in Scripture just a little too far. Great question. If you have one, send it to AskJeff.net, and maybe your question will be tomorrow. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at AskJeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.